Coronavirus has pretty much cancelled everything I had in the pipeline.
I was supposed to be on tour in the Middle East, and instead I'm homeschooling my kids.
Any way that I was making money, doing stand-up, cleaning cars, whatever it is, coronavirus, it's all gone.
100% of my income streams were wiped out in one fell swoop, like so many other people.
If you don't get on stage at least once every 2 or 3 days, you start to feel like you're going rusty, so we're all going a bit nuts at the moment.
Let's go for Gabe Hogan! Thank you so much, Gabe. Oh, man.
Probably just looks like a regulation empty bottle of Kick-A-Man soy sauce.
When live comedy, as we knew it, was cancelled in Australia to help stop the spread of COVID-19, for us it meant cancelling the third biggest comedy event in the world.
Melbourne International Comedy Festival would be probably 40% of my income, so there was a bit of a kick in the guts when it got cancelled, but everybody's in the same boat, so you can't really do much about it.
Daniel Connell had to call off gigs in Canberra and Sydney too, but for a while there, he was still keen to call around to your place.
Cheers Big Ears to you. That's right, I'll bring my 1 hour show Cheers Big Ears to your living room, your bunker.
Now with Edinburgh Fringe struck off his calendar too, and stricter social distancing between him and his fans, Daniel's comedy has been quarantined to social media.
Well, what about Facebook Live or Zoom?
If you could hear people laughing through your phone coming, if you could actually hear the laughter coming back at you from different people watching it live, that maybe would be appealing because that keeps you going and you can find your timing with everything. But when there's no sound, you're pausing where there's maybe a laugh was supposed to be, and maybe if they're not laughing at home, it just comes across weird. So that live element of a crowd is definitely needed.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the wonderfully makeshift Local Laughs virtual. This is it. Hang on. Yeah!
With its usual home offline, this week Janet McLeod took her famous comedy night online and into our living rooms. It also meant the comedians could work from home and get paid.
I'm coming live from my house in Wagga Wagga, entertainment capital of the fucking world. Don't Google that.
We had about 120, I think, in total. And people were not just in Melbourne. There was Taipei City in Taiwan and Abu Dhabi.
We need to be extra cautious at the moment. Wear gloves, wear a mask, do what you got to do, but just make sure that you're feeling safe. Because I
actually had a heap of fun with it. As the performance was going on, I was learning how to play with the camera and move in and move out from it. So as far as treading new ground and being inspired by a new experience, I loved it. I really did have a lot of fun.
I'm 52. I had to learn and upskill very quickly. I'm not proficient. I'm not some tech genius. I'm just determined.
So what's the experience like for the home crowd? The armchair spectator, the heckler in self-isolation.
Hang on, there we go. Unmute. What is this in? What?
Well, you're part of the show. Unless, of course, you prefer to share the love without your camera on.
Replacing an audience with a bunch of yellow faces just popping up on the screen, that would feel weird to me.
Can I just acknowledge though what an amazing, really like a diverse lineup we've got. I had no idea how many different kind of white people there were.
2019 was a massive year for Craig Quartermain. He was constantly touring his show, Novelty Act. Now he's parodied the experience of suddenly being isolated to his Brisbane home for SBS NITV.
There's always this expectation as an Indigenous comedian that you're going to have something poignant to say and it's going to be this spiritual journey. So I like to film like I'm making something serious, but then that makes the jokes work even better when I film myself cutting a dick into the lawn. Things that I would never do if I was actually busy.
I did record my first ever song during this time.
Isolation days go by, quarantine.
It took like 48 hours to bang out that whole thing. And that's probably the most that I've done.
That's until Canned Comedy, a charity stand-up night held in Perth, Mandurah, Darwin and Palmerston, launched an Instagram comedy comp. Basically, entrants record a 15-second bit, They're pitted against each other, and it's all posted to the Canned Comedy Instagram story, where people vote on who was funnier.
Tattoos are a bit like children, you know? You have to tell everybody how much they mean to you to compensate for your terrible decision.
A lot of it was just looking at, okay, what jokes do I have that I can get a punchline out in under 15 seconds?
Quarantine's been tough. I've been practicing emotional distancing, so I'm not joining any group chats with more than 5 people.
Recently I got chatting to the principal of a school of fish, and he told me that Mexican walking fish, they ask a lot of questions.
Hey, if you reckon your self-isolation has been monotonous, my mate's a plumber, working from home now. He's just dealing with the same shit day in, day out.
It ended up being a lot of fun, and especially since it was all random, you have very different comedians with very different jokes going head to head. It was fun to be part of.
Look, it still sucks that live comedy as we knew it and loved it has been cancelled. But we're all at home for a while, and after doing her first live stand-up set over the internet, Gabe Hogan had this to say.
Everyone should give it a crack. Your first time, it's not going to be the best performance, I'm guessing, but it can only get better, and we've just got to use what we've got now. We can't say, oh, it's not the same and I don't want to do it anymore. We get to say everything's different, and we get to be the pioneers of doing this so differently. It's super exciting.
Thanks for watching. Well, we all need a laugh as much as ever right now, so we highly recommend looking up the people in this video or your favourite comedians, show them some love and have a good old-fashioned lol. Also, a big shout to our sponsor for this first series of Good Shout stories, FSW Shoes. It's a family-run business in New South Wales and the ACT. It also has an awesome online shop that ships around Australia, so if you need some new kicks, jump onto fswshoes.com.au, grab yourself a bargain and support a family business. We'll be putting up new stories every Friday, so please give us a follow or hit subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments. We'll even read them. Well, we'll see you next Good Shout Friday.